Hi, Lee again. So in this video, I'm going to take a few minutes to discuss how I might be able to help you, your team, your organization. Now, I want to make one thing clear. I am not interested in making the business case or convincing anybody that there's a business case to be an inclusive leader or investing in diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. You can Google it yourself. I honestly want to work with people that understand that it's critical that we have inclusive leadership and innovation that increases performance in companies, because we're working with people with different ideas, people with different lived experiences and diversity of thought. And it's so crucial. I honestly, I don't think leaders are going to make it without being inclusive. I don't think companies are going to make it without being inclusive, especially these days in the competition for talent in the remote workforce, everything that the pandemic has done in upending things. And quite honestly, the younger generation is demanding exclusivity. I think in general, I hear it from people within the IT world that when they're hiring somebody, they're being interviewed just as much as they are interviewing the person, and people want an inclusive workplace. So it's just a fact of the world moving forward. It's not something that we can deny or continue to push back on or resist. It's just a fact that I'm not interested in really working with anybody where I would have to convince you to do that. That's just not, it's not worth my time, and it's not worth your time. So, if you're somebody that's maybe my age, you're wondering how you can stretch to retirement to survive in your current role or in a new role, to make it to retirement in this changing world, or maybe you're looking to take that next leap into a leadership role. I believe that being an inclusive leader and embracing diversity, equity, and inclusion and belonging, learning about it, making yourself more aware, increasing your knowledge, can be instrumental. And I want to say that we need to tamp down the fear that we have, the fear in this country, but also the fear we have in engaging people that are different with us, or being afraid that we don't know how to do this, that we're afraid to make mistakes, that will be vilified for saying the wrong thing. Okay, that's an area where I can help. I have, it's that making mistakes is how we learn. Okay, so we have to get comfortable with that. Just like exercise, stretching a muscle, we're stretching our mental muscles here and building those mental muscles. And so, yeah, sometimes it's uncomfortable. Sometimes we go through a little bit of pain, but that means we're growing. Okay. And I want to also emphasize the importance of, there's a certain order to this, right? Focusing on psychological safety first as a foundation, then inclusion and belonging, and then diversity. All right. Now, I mentioned before that I pride myself on being a connector of dots, ideas, and people. And I believe I can be a bridge to help you bridge gaps, close gaps in, as I mentioned, your knowledge, awareness, style, and performance. So that can come in the form of coaching about inclusive leadership. And as I said, helping to tamp down that fear and make you more comfortable about, being a more inclusive leader, opening yourself up a little bit more, being vulnerable, having the courage to be vulnerable, and moving to or increasing a trust and inspire style of leadership versus command and control, which is something that Stephen M. R. Covey discusses in his book, Trust and Inspire, and building psychological safety to focus on our own human capital within our teams and organizations, which has, I think, historically been a really overlooked resource to us. I can also help in terms of consulting, whether that's by myself or in collaboration with any of the other consulting groups that I'm currently associated with, which is Christina Smith at D&I Strategists that focus on diversity and inclusion, Dr. Shelton Good and Icarus Consulting that has more of an HR and diversity, equity, inclusion focus, or Bill Price at Driva Solutions and the team there that focus on contact center and customer experience work as well. In addition to that, I have a large, a growing and diverse network of individual practitioners as well that I can partner with and bring to bear. This is a very complex, just like I mentioned in systems work, there are many experts in this space. No one person can be an expert to cover it all. Just like in SAP, you have many different expertises. It's no different with diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. So I can bring those resources to bear to partner, and whether that's developing roadmaps, again, similar to a systems implementation on how to go through a diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. One of the key differences there is we can start having more immediate impact than an SAP implementation. It could also come in the form of facilitating discussions or training for your group or your organization, speaking engagements, potentially, if you think I can help there with motivation and my story that I bring to bear. So, reach out and connect. Looking to help each other here, because it's really all about connection and community. As a Ram Dass quote that my wife reminded me last night that I think is beautiful is, we're all just walking each other home in this life, and the journey is shorter than we think. And perspective with COVID and everything happening in this world, let's take advantage of the time that we have right now. So refer to other information on the website, leeshull.com, and please reach out, connect with me. Let's have a conversation and see how we might be able to collaborate. Okay, thank you.